Judge, no changes except just a couple of comments about the PSI. But first, can I call my client to testify?
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Mr. Smith, you accepted responsibility for this aggravated robbery, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the judge has a decision to make today on a number of years in prison, anywhere from 5 years to 12 years. What would you like to tell the judge about that decision this morning?
Your Honor, I appear before you and speak with utmost veracity. The 13 months in which I've been incarcerated have provided me with ample time to reflect on my life and the poor decisions I've made over the past few years. I find myself aghast and contrite for falling so far from grace and allowing my life to spiral so thoroughly out of control and becoming so ensnared by addiction. And it's no one's fault but my own, and I'm not beyond reproach or above accountability. The case before you is not simple. The events on June 22nd were unfortunate and unexpected. In my mind, I was acting in the interest of self-preservation. It was never my intent to commit an act of robbery. Mr. Klump, on many occasions, showed me pictures of firearms and weapons he was selling, and that very night he discharged a weapon at me. I perceived a threat and acted on it. All I was doing was depriving him of the opportunity to rearm himself. I'm not a violent person and never wanted to hurt anybody. And if it weren't for drugs and the battle against addiction, I don't think either of us would have ever gone through this. And I ask that while you review this case, you take my words into consideration. I hope you find it in your heart to express leniency when sentencing me. And if you find it within reason to grant clemency, I beseech you to do so. And I know your disposition will be fair and honorable and just, and I just hope my statement will shine a favorable light upon me. Thanks. God bless.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Judge, sorry to
hold on, Mr. Leal. We're in the middle of a hearing. Let's go. Go ahead, Nick. Anything?
Judge, in the PSI on page 5, and the prosecutor pointed it out to me to make sure I didn't miss it. The complainant has a case out of your court related to drugs and is a fugitive. You know, so when Jacob Smith mentions drugs, there's drugs use on his part, and his former roommate of 1 week has got a drug issue apparently, and also has an issue reporting to either the court or the bondsman because he is a fugitive. It's the tail end of the PSI. Mr. Smith talks about, let me find it. He's apologizing for putting himself in the situation that got him here today. He knows he's being held accountable for it, and that he's asking the court for the lowest possible sentence so that he could get back out and rejoin society as a productive citizen for his family and society.
Okay, and go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's it, Judge. That's what we wanted to say.
Okay. Any argument from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, but the state did have some questions for the defendant, since the defendant was actually starting to blame the victim for this offense.
Okay, well, I didn't.
After he stated responsibility, but the state would like to point out that he was on bond for numerous cases when he picked up this aggravated robbery. The victim was actually injured in this aggravated robbery when he took the rifle and smashed the window open and headbutted him with the rifle. It does not matter.
What was he on bond on? He was already on some of these.
No, he wasn't on bond for the defendant.
Yeah,
the defendant was on bond for 4 to 200, a PG1 4 to 200, a theft of under 100, a fraudulent use 5 to 9, tamper with government sealed documents, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, which is a felony, burglary.
All these charges that are being dismissed, were they all committed at the same time prior to the ag robbery, or was one and then
all these happened before the aggravated robbery?
But did they happen in sequence, like one possession, then the tampering, then the unauthorized, or like?
Yes, I can tell you this. He has a burglary rehab that I'm TIC in, which was at large. He has a possession of 4 to 200 and a theft of 100 from 8/28/2019, and then a fraud 5 to 9 on 9/19/19. with the tampering government records. And then on 10/28/19, he picks up unauthorized use of motor vehicle and a burglary second. And then on February 20th, 2020, he picked up theft of a mail. And then on June 11th, 2020, he picks up some more drug cases, PG2, 1 to 4, and PG3, less than 28. And then with this aggravated robbery, he picked this up with a felon possession of firearm and evading arrest of detention, Your Honor. So I am TIC in all these cases and I took that in consideration when I gave him a cap of 12 for this aggravated robbery. Yes, the victim does have an active warrant, but the active warrant was the drug cases did not happen before this case, Your Honor. And the victim was transported to the hospital because of injuries that he did receive from this case, Your Honor. And it seems like the defendant, again, is not taking full responsibility because he's trying to blame stuff on the victim. So the state is asking for the full 12 years due to the fact that the state is TIC in all these cases and numerous felonies.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Smith, I heard your testimony and the argument from both sides. I'm going to go ahead and sentence you to 10 years in the institutional revision of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and TIC 19-12760, 2020-4040, 2020-4039, 2020-4038, 2020-8592. You'll get credit for all the time served in the county jail, and it is a 3G on the ag robbery. You have to serve half your time before you're eligible for parole. All right, how much time does he have, Jessica?
Yeah, it's 401 days.
You have a lot of time, over a year.